Hey, what is up, guys? It's your man Noah G, and welcome to episode 8 of Noah's Gaming Show. And today we're talking about Wolfenstein The New Order. And even though it came out 3 years ago, I just played it, and damn does it set the precedent for what other shooters should be like. So the fall season is finally here, guys, and damn, with it comes a huge rush of games. But one specifically has me hyped. You know what game that is? It's Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. Now, I won't lie. I was thinking about picking up Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus without even playing the first one. But I said, hell no. And do you know why? It's because I don't want to be one of those gamers that hops aboard the hype train on a sequel without putting in the work and really seeing the evolution that has come since the first game. So there I was, on the PSN, and saw Wolfenstein The New Order for $20. Yeah, $20, guys. You know how cheap that is? Do yourself a favor and pick up Wolfenstein The New Order if you haven't played the first one. It's worth the money. It's worth your time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that it actually rivals some of the shooters from this year. It's aged very well. It's worth your money. Just trust me on this. But, like I said, I was there on the PSN, and I didn't even hesitate and went straight to purchasing the game. And let me tell you this. Wolfenstein is not a perfect game. And don't get me wrong, it's a great game. But it's a smart and conscious FPS. Hell, no, it's a smart and conscious shooter that sets a precedent for what other shooters should be like. Now, right off the bat, let's just talk about the gameplay. I don't recall enjoying a shooter's gameplay this much in a long time. Like, a long, long time. Sure, I'm playing Destiny 2 right now, but that gunplay, that feeling of power you have in this game, creates some memorable shootouts. Whether it be in a prison, in the war-torn streets of Berlin, hell, the moon. Yeah, the moon, guys. Wolfenstein does a great job of providing you with various environments and combat scenarios that are always refreshing and interesting. And on top of that, the spaces you fight in have a real sense of place, and we're going to talk about that a little later on in the video. The gunplay is smooth and fast-paced. In fact, the gameplay really emphasizes aggressive gameplay against the enemies, despite not having regenerative health. Now, don't get scared because I said there's no health regen in this game. There's health packs and armor packs scattered throughout the levels, and it really keeps you moving and keeps you more engaged within the combat spaces. But the fact that it doesn't have health regen actually adds to like the drama of the gunfights. It makes it more intense, more thrilling, if you will. Multiple times I would be behind cover with only like 10 health, maybe 20, reloading my gun and hoping to God that these guys would not rush me. But guess what? They rushed me and I'd be forced to sprint to the next cover, and it really like kept me on my toes. It kept me engaged and kept me like feeling not frisky, because that's not the right word I'm looking for, but feeling, you know, scared and tense as I would try to regain the momentum that I had lost. Now, I said this earlier, but I think Wolfenstein does a great job of giving you a big feeling of power, of like weight to your actions within the world. And that comes across in the gameplay. When I'm shooting multiple Nazis with my assault rifle, there's a lot of heft to it. You know, my guns have a certain oomph to them. Blood pops from the Nazis' bodies, they stumble to their feet, and they get knocked back. And when I'm feeling ballsy, I'll dual-wield shotguns and charge straight in. Oh, and I should have mentioned that you can dual-wield every gun in this game. You can dual-wield assault rifles? Check. Dual-wield shotguns with half scatter rounds? Check. Dual-wield 2 sniper rifles? Well, I don't know why you would want to, because the point of having the sniper rifle is to aim down the scope, but you know, whatever. Check. There's a level of visceralness. That's a word, right? No, I'm pretty sure that's a word. But anyways, that visceral aspect to the feeling of combat is something that isn't matched by many shooters. What I like so much about The New Order, about Wolfenstein, is that when I'm in the middle of a gunfight and I'm shooting at an enemy behind cover, that cover gets broken up. Pieces of the wall, like chunks come off. There's glass scattered around. It feels like an actual battle is taking place. It feels like my actions actually have weight within the world. Like this destruction that's caused is by both me and the enemy alike. And don't get me wrong, a lot of games have destructibility in it, but that's not what makes Wolfenstein's gameplay or gunplay feel better than those games. It's just the way it flows within the spaces. But most importantly, throughout my journey, I never once felt that I wasn't doing actual damage to the enemy. You know, my actions, like I said, have weight in this world, and I feel like I'm actually doing damage to these Nazis. And I didn't feel that way when I was like just merely shooting at bullet sponges in like, say, Destiny 2 or in a regular Call of Duty campaign. In my opinion, a lot of the shooters that we play nowadays don't necessarily deliver on that feeling of power aspect. I want to feel important within a space. I want to feel powerful within a world. I want my powers, not my powers, I should say. I want my actions to be powerful, to feel empowering to me. But it's time to get it, guys. Let's get down to the real business at hand, where Wolfenstein shines brighter than a lot of other shooters. its story, and its great setting. I've always felt that story is the most important aspect of any game, despite if it's, a shooter, an RPG, or whatever. Story to me is the most important part of a game. It's the drive, it's the motivation to keep trekking through a story, through a campaign, through whatever. Nothing's worse than booting up a shooter campaign, an RPG quest line, or whatever, and not feel motivated to keep going. And I've experienced this with Halo 5, with Call of Duty Ghosts, with Titanfall 2, hell, with a lot of other games. And by the way, the only reason I beat Destiny 2's campaign is because I had to. I literally had to beat the game so I could unlock all the stuff that comes after it. But Wolfenstein doesn't have that problem, which, by the way, I think is pretty rare given today's gaming landscape. Wolfenstein The New Order takes an interesting concept, which is, what if the Nazis won World War II and developed this crazy robot technology to conquer the world, and fleshes it out with not only a compelling story, but a compelling protagonist. You play as William B.J. Blazkowicz, who's been the main protagonist of the series since OG Day 1, since back in the day. But remember in the beginning when I said that this was a smart and conscious shooter? Well, it's because unlike other shooter protagonists, BJ is actually affected by all the killing he does. Wolfenstein asks some great questions about how we perceive violence. BJ is a character that needs to come to terms with his actions, and seeing him grow and deal with the situation at hand really makes you wonder why we're okay with senseless violence. Yeah, shit gets deep in Wolfenstein. And the relationship that blossoms between BJ and Anya is something that's endearing and believable. In a world that's gone to hell, it's just two people that are hurt, and both physically and emotionally, that are trying to find happiness in a world that won't allow it. And seeing them fight to overcome that is something that's really captivating. The villains in this game are badass. They're menacing and have a certain type of presence when on screen. Whether it be Irene or Death's Head, both provide real fear when you encounter them. And I'd be lying if I didn't get goosebumps on that train scene with Irene. I got the heebie-jeebies. And I really did feel uneasy whenever she was around, whenever Death's Head was around, which is probably due to the great performances by the actors. But the world, the setting itself where all this takes place in, is wonderfully realized. This alternate history reality is interesting as F, and when you're going around the world and exploring, you'll come across multiple letters, newspaper clippings, audio diaries that showcase the downfall of the free world. This reality is rich with lore and poses thought-provoking what-if scenarios. And I'm not saying all this just to say all this. I truly feel this way. I'm not lying. I would literally go out of my way during these levels to find different, newspaper clippings, audio diaries that would give more insight to the mythos of this world. I thought it was very crazy that instead of, USA dropping the bomb on Hiroshima and Japan, it was actually the Germans that dropped it in Manhattan. That blew my mind. I was like, whoa, that's super rad. And I found myself in a lot of games that I play, or in a lot of shooters, I don't really have that urge to go explore and find out more about the world that I'm playing in. Much like a good story, a good world needs to also pull you in and make you want to play in it and stay in it. And that wraps up episode 8 of Noah's Gaming Show, guys. Thank you so much. I really do think that if you haven't played Wolfenstein The New Order, you need to drop those $20 and really do yourself this favor and go purchase a truly great game. I stand by everything that I've said so far. If you like this video though, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what I can improve on in the comments, let me know what you'd like to see. Any feedback is good feedback in my opinion, just help me grow, guys. And until next time, my name is Noah G, and good vibes.